without further ado, I'm going to hand off this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was so much fun to serve you guys in that line over there. I think some of you guys thought I might work here. And I wish I did, because you guys are just lovely and welcoming, and I just really appreciate you guys letting us come by today. We have Mr. Aiden over here.
Hi guys. Sorry I didn't pass out cookies to you guys, but it's nice to meet you all.
I live in Jacksonville, Florida. Aiden lives in Gainesville, Florida.
Go Gator. If you couldn't tell.
I'm a proud FSU grad, so therefore Aiden and I don't get along during football season, so you guys caught us before we enter our quiet period. I get to spend a lot of time in Lakeland. I work with the Barnett family on some of their philanthropic initiatives, including this one. And then I work with Curio because I'm so passionate about VR, XR, and AR. And so Aiden, do you mind just telling us a little bit about what these acronyms mean?
For sure. So we have XR, which is extended reality, and that's kind of an umbrella term for VR, virtual reality, AR, augmented reality, and then MR, mixed reality. So virtual reality is like you're in a whole different world. You're in the headset. You're in a completely different reality. Augmented reality, we're here in real life, but then we have stuff augmented over top. So I can see, it's like a spy movie where you're looking, pulls up all their aliases and all their info about them on top of real world.
And so Aiden recently graduated from UF. He was an intern for us, and he's working full-time. He spends most of his time in the state of Alabama. He's working on the largest grant related to XR ever. There's about 80 high schools, 40 that are using the software related to geometry, 40 that are the control. It's an amazing study. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit and show it all off. But Aiden was with me today, and I was like, Aiden, I'm stressed, I'm tired. Do you mind helping me with this PowerPoint and getting it together? And so, he does a little bit of the internal responsibilities still, and I don't want to abuse it, but I'm glad he's here because he's just so good. He never makes any mistakes, and so, Okay, so let's see what Aiden's got on the agenda for today. Okay, good. We're talking about virtual reality. That's an obvious one, Aiden. We're going to do virtual reality. Good. Got some tariff feedback from the audience.
I want to know everybody's thoughts. So.
And then, I have to go over my peace plan for the Middle East.
That's right.
Interns, they just can't get anything right. Okay, we're going to have some fun. I have a 7-year-old daughter. There's something that all fathers know, that as soon as you have a kid, you immediately enter dad joke land. So the jokes will not get much better than the one we just did. But hopefully while you guys were eating, we'll have a little fun. You guys will learn something. And why are we here? What do we want to get out of this? I've worked with some of your faculty and some of your leadership. And at the end of the day, we want ideas because we have to build more content as part of our grants. Our grants that we receive to provide everything for free is so we can go out to universities across the country and say, what do you want for us to build? And if you guys want to build something custom, which I hope you guys do, come with us ideas. You guys are the subject matter experts. So we're going to dive into that, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to educate you so you can then educate me on what we should build. Sound good? And enjoy the food, because if the presentation stinks, at least the food was awesome. All right. So we think about things with really 3 lenses on them. There's learners, builders, and researchers. Kind of simple. For the women in the audience, we're guys. We got to make things super, super simple for our pea brains. So who is a learner? A learner is it can be a college student. We have middle schools using it, high schools, anyone that is a student taking advantage of Curio software. So those are the learners. Builders are where it gets really interesting. For us, builders are student developers. If you guys have developers on campus or people that want to do things, all of you in this room are subject matter experts in some field, some more than others. And then we also work with lots of builders across the country. So I'll give you an example. California State University Long Beach has 4 computer science classrooms right now that are asking us what they need to build. You know why? Because they're tired of their students coming in and learning virtual reality education and what to build, and they're asked to build tanks and guns. Instead, they would rather be partnered with smart staff across the country, smart faculty across the country, and actually build something that's going to better the world instead of a saber or a bullet or something silly. So hopefully you guys can be some subject matter experts for us. And then, like I said, we do a bunch of research. We have all of our data that we collect as part of the actual experience we can provide to researchers. So, for example, in the University of Wisconsin right now, we have a professor that is watching students manipulate geometric shapes, and he can tell from the data that we're giving him every time the student touches it, how long it takes them to finish the puzzle, and we can give them all that data to really get some interesting models put together on how students learn in virtual reality. Any questions about this? 3 groups? All right. Okay, here's a little bit of background. Aiden's gonna jump in on a couple of these. So, like I said, our platform is 100% free. It is grant funded. So what are the grants? You heard about one. We have a gigantic grant from the Department of Education that went to the Department of Alabama to then work with these high schools for geometry. That is one of about 10 grants that we have today that provide this for $0. And the only requirement that we're required to do is make it available for everybody. So this is the only agreement we have to make. If you come up with a good idea, it is your idea, that intellectual property belongs with you in the university. All we ask is the permission to then share it with the world. That's all I need. Seems fair? Okay, all right. I think they're in agreement on that. We try to make everything super, super research-based. We have a lot of different subjects that we're gonna walk through today and show you guys. We want more subjects. We want higher level subjects. If you teach a very, very complicated course, that doesn't scare us. I'll give you a fun example. We had a philosophy teacher ask us one time, philosophy professor, hey, it's really hard for me to explain to my students what color blindness feels like. And so we're like, I wonder if we can, when they put the headset on, if we can toggle between the 8 different types of color blindness. Surely enough, we can. And now we have this great color blindness experience, not because of someone in the sciences that teaches that from a medical perspective, but because of a philosophy professor. And you guys didn't think philosophy professors knew anything. And here they are coming with great ideas like that. It's amazing. We believe this can be used for whole class instruction, so we're gonna be doing some demoing like a professor could inside of the classroom. It could be a tutoring session, it could be one-on-one, it could be a lot of different ways to use it. And again, about 50 colleges and universities across the country use it today, and so we have lots of different ideas. And I want Aiden to talk a little bit about our AI study buddy.
Yeah, so inside of Curio, we have Watson is his name, but he's our AI study buddy, and he's able to walk you through learning experiences and teach you lessons as you go through them, but also real time using conversational AI, reply to any questions that you may have throughout the process. And you can even, if you grab one of the planets from the solar system, you don't know exactly which one it is, you can ask Watson, he's able to identify it and reply to your question with, relevant answers to that planet.
And so you can kind of see this mix between AI and virtual reality and how you can really open up things. So we're working with a university out west that is doing criminology, and they want the ability to do interrogation rooms. So you sit down and you're going through an interrogation, but they want it to be answering questions live and not be this kind of robotic, this exact question, this exact answer. And so we've had a lot of fun with the AI Study Buddy to give them kind of the flexibility on creating the story and the alibi and what it looks like. And so I'm having a lot of fun trying to interrogate it. Luckily, my wife interrogates me all the time, so this is like good practice for me. Again, the jokes just keep going down. They just go further and further down. We talked a little bit about how we keep all the IP with the university and with the professors. We have great professors that want to highlight why they did something. So one thing we ask, it is completely optional, is a video of why you wanted to create this. And so we can show you some of those videos today. And the best example that we have is we have a virtual heart tour where you can actually dive in like a magic school bus and you can go through the heart. And Dr. Schelke from the University of Nebraska, she built this because she wanted people to understand the heart and the different processes in the heart. And the way that you can do it is like a magic school bus experience, which is totally her line that I stole. But her explaining that as an educator, I think is magical. And watching students go through it is just so cool. So we'll show off a little bit of that today as well. Aiden, you want to talk about training and support?
Yeah, so for Curio, there's no training required. There's a 1-minute video when you first enter the app. That's all you need to know. From there, it's just using your hands. We don't use the controllers. So you're in there, you're more immersed, and you're just tapping buttons just like you would in the real world. So the headsets are really easy to set up. There's no crazy cables. You don't have to tether them to a computer. This is it. This is all you need right here. You have the headset, and we add a battery strap on the back. That allows all-day use and more comfortability, actually, too. So when you put it on, it tightens up nice and easily, and it stays on your head. So that extends the battery life to about 6 hours, so you can use it throughout the whole day. We also build out our virtual reality implementation guide, which is a nose-to-tail document that goes over headset setup instructions, how to use the app, and that's been created with the Curio staff, but also in collaboration with a bunch of professors, teachers, and students and interns across the country from various colleges and institutions. So,
Aiden, do you mind just going over the headset itself? Because many of the people in this room probably haven't ever seen one. Actually, we'll do some fun. Who has seen a headset like this before? Let's pick on you, sir. Do you know what kind of headset that is? Meta Quest, perfect. So Meta's gone through about 4 or 5 generations of headsets. Quest 2s came out 3 years ago?
3-4 years.
3-4 years ago. We still support Quest 2s because we know it's a hardware purchase that you guys have to make. It's got to last for at least 5 years. So we make sure everything goes on Quest 2s, and then Quest 3s, and then 3Ss.
This
so
is a
this
3S
is a
right
3S there.
So yeah, this is, you went over the headset, but following up, yeah, we have the 3S here. Then the 3 is a little bit nicer, has some higher quality cameras on the front, but the 3S has all you can do, and it is $399.
$399. So I think about it like a Chromebook. Yes, sir.
Do you, with the institutions that you partner with, do you provide assistance in seeking grant monies to purchase these headsets?
Yeah, so the hardest thing that we have to deal with is we can provide free software, we can provide free training and support, you can have Aiden's cell number and call him day and night. But what we can't provide is we can't provide the headsets themselves. And so we actually work with Meta because sometimes I just want to strangle them. Wait, this is being recorded and AI is going to see this. I love AI, I love Meta. Sorry, Zuck. But Meta does not understand how hard it is to sell to universities, to get them to buy headsets. And so they were, what they have on Amazon and Best Buy and other places, there's a 1-year warranty. 1 year. 1 year. And so we've worked with them for the past couple of years, and what they grant us is if you buy headsets through us, there's a 0% markup. What we get them from Meta is what we pass along to you guys. Of course, there's no sales tax because you guys are a university. And then on top of that, because of the relationship with Meta, we give 3-year free warranty. And the goal for us is not because we want to make money on the headwear. Again, we don't want to make no money. That is our goal, no dollars. I just want like free coffee. If you guys could buy me coffee, that's all I need. But for you guys, these headsets are so hard to acquire. So we work in 2 ways. One is how do we work with universities? If there's one department over here and a department over here that wants to partner together to get headsets, we help them do that. And then we are really good at writing grants. Not only grants for ourselves, but we have about 20 examples of colleges that have used our grant engine. It's a GPT that we created to help write the grants. depending upon the prompts of what the grant is for. So we would love to help anyone that sees grant dollars out there related to AI or related to virtual reality to get you guys headsets. And of course, $0 in the markup. Does that answer that, Justin? I did not pay Justin to ask that question, just so we're clear. Anything on this, Aiden? Did I miss anything?
Last thing, last bullet point I didn't go over, Chad's joke about the, my cell number 24/7. I have had a lot of Alabama teachers call me day and night asking for support, and that's what I'm there for. So it's a joke, but it's also, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I mean, what's cool on the team is it's a team of educators and people that really care about virtual reality. We know it's not easy. The first time you put a headset on, you're not going to be like, oh, this is the most intuitive thing in the world for me not to be able to see anything in front of me, and how do I do this in my classroom? It's a team, a small team of people that are here to support you guys.
All right, so up on the board, why STEM? So you can see we've got some chemistry ball and stick models here, and then we've also got what the VR solution of that is in Curio. And we worked with a lot of STEM courses first just because that was what our institutions were asking for, so chemistry, anatomy, biology. And a lot of these models, like the ball and stick models, all those little tiny pieces, professors were complaining about students losing them or breaking them or just having to constantly buy more kits. So we replicated that in VR. You can see this chemistry molecule here, and that's repeatable infinite number of times, and it is free for everybody, but it cost us to build it once, and now we can use it over and over and over again. Never lose them, never break the models, and everybody's happy.
You want to narrate this?
Yeah, so forget which video this is, but that is our tablet. So you can see I'm just tapping around through the tablet using my hands. I'm able to go into our chemistry section and just pinch and drag like you would very easily on a tablet or a computer. And there we've got some full chemistry molecules there that you can get your hands on and resize and interact with in the room. And one thing that we haven't directly mentioned yet is if Chad and I both had a headset on, we could join the same room together and be able to hand those molecules back and forth between each other, or use our molecule builder here to grab those elements off the periodic table and bond them together to make that water molecule right there.
And we learned from a couple professors at our early universities that the ball and stick models, the angles of the bonding wasn't exactly accurate on the actual ball and stick model, because to produce that, it's more expensive. So, and it's one thing, evidently in organic chemistry, you kind of have to break the student's brain in understanding how those bonds actually, you like that? You have to break their understanding of how the angles work. So doing it in virtual reality is a lot easier. And don't worry, we got some contestants. So I'm thinking someone over here might be a good one to pick on in a second.
So more comparison between, we've got this anatomy model on the left side of the screen, and then what's capable in VR and in Curio. We have a full-scale anatomy model where, like I said before, 2 users are able to look at that together, grab the model, take apart all the muscles, have labels right there, and then on the right side you can see behind the users, we've got this big wall tablet that has definitions, info, everything about the anatomy model as you're going through it, and we'll show that off when I demo the app.
Okay, so there's a lot inside of Curio. So we're not gonna be able to go through it all today. On our website, there's a full list of all the tools and experiences, but we talked a lot about chemistries. We have tons there. We mentioned the heart tour. We have a full cow-eye dissection. We have this joint explorer, going over the different ways joints are connected and why I'm starting to feel so old in certain joints. How neurons communicate, supersonic flow over an aircraft. It was done with a professor from Syracuse, Dr. Sun, and it's just amazing to be able to see that in a 3D way and understand how the supersonic and sonic booms work. Thermal stratification, we have a full graphing calculator, a brain tutorial, and you have the ability to upload your own 3D models. So some of you guys are out there like, these guys, I'm way ahead of them. I have my own 3D models. I can do this on my own. Bring it inside Curio, and you can upload everything. Everything can be available for you to show off to your students and really kind of get into some hands-on understanding of those models. And this is just a recent example of something that we've launched. We put it in beta testing. So this is some Mexican kitchen, and we've actually extended it to Russian as well. So you're learning Spanish. You can pick up an item, and you can hear it both in English and Spanish, and vice versa, and do flashcard mode. And so it's an interesting way to do language learning besides just, oh, what is that word there? It's like, no, hold it and walk around the kitchen. And then our phase 2 is going to be doing recipes. So you're actually going to make things using the Spanish words or the English words, depending upon how you want to do it. And then we did Russian because, what's right after Spanish? Russian, obviously. And it's, I've learned that my Spanish is terrible and my Russian, I need to apologize to people, so. Okay, and again, just want to show you guys some sample ideas of what we're thinking and doing. Again, we have tons of geometry content that's being worked on now as part of our big grant. We have a kidney tour to go along with our heart tour. We have financial accounting, business. Where's my business professors? Business? Yeah. I hated learning T accounts, and so being able, how do the 3 different statements get affected by a financial transaction? So be able to see that in virtual reality we think is cool. Linear algebra, some more English grammar stuff, chemical reactions, acupuncture, and then again, I'm trying to steal all the ideas from you guys in this room. Okay, so let's have some fun. I gave them too many cookies and they need to move around a little bit, Aiden.
In a little bit of a food coma.
Okay, so I'm going to have Aiden show off just like 1 or 2 minutes inside Curie, especially the human body. And can you do a little bit of the heart tour, since I promised that one?
Yeah.
So you'll get that going.
Once you cast me. So Chad is going to get my headset's display casted up onto the big screen here. Actually, refresh the browser really quick, please. And it's very simple. We have this little, on-purpose hurdle here. So Chad will refresh that, I will cast, and then momentarily what I'm seeing will go up onto the display. So it's very easy to use. And now we're in Curio. See that all right up there? All right, so you got my hands in front of me. Like I said, no controllers. Everything's controlled through our tablet. You can look at the inside of your wrist, have this little button right here, press that. There's our tablet. You can move it around. And here we have all of our content, tools, and features. So I'm going to jump right into the human body, just because that's really exciting. And I'll go to content, science, anatomy, and then toggle on our human body. It takes about 3 seconds to load because it's thousands and thousands of body parts all labeled in really high detail. And I'll go ahead and choose our muscular system. So now that'll spawn in. And I'll be able to walk around this nice space that we have. But if I was seated in a classroom, I could just make a peace sign and point where I want to go, and I would scoot over towards the anatomy model. And now I'm able just to reach out, take out this pectoralis major muscle, take out one of these deltoid muscles, and then I have a whole menu of tools that I'm able to use on this model here, like the cross-section tool. Grab the free cross-section, and I can do real-time cross-section and see inside of the muscles, or if I wanted to switch to something like, we'll do the chest, can do that, and I can use the cross-section to look inside of the heart and the lungs and see all the different parts inside of the human body. And then, to stay along program that Chad mentioned here, we will toggle off the anatomy model, and I will hop into the heart tour.
And while he's hopping into the heart tour, one thing I should mention is it's a little bit delayed, and so there might be a little bit of rockiness that you see on the screen, maybe feeling like Blair Witch Project, but that's not happening inside the headset.
Yeah. Perfectly smooth for me in here, and whoever wants to try it out, it'll be nice and smooth for them as well. This is the little intro video that Chad was talking about by Dr. Sue Schulke, and this was who helped create the heart tour.
And this is optional. Don't feel like if you don't want the video, don't worry. We won't force you to do it. Maybe.
All right, so now I've got heartbeats going in my ears as I approach the heart tour. Let me recenter. I don't want to turn around and face the speakers chat. All right, so here is our heart tour. This is our little rail cart, and we can just scoot along here and go on our tour. Our first stop is the superior vena cava here, and I will just put my finger there, and then now I've got a model of the heart. This little green orb shows me where I'm at, where I'm going through the heart, and then I've got the definition and what the superior vena cava is, which I'm not an anatomy expert, and now Watson's reading this to me in my headset. And I can just take a ride to the next station, and I'm able to see what the path through the heart looks like.
So while Aiden's jumping out, and Aiden's actually going to pick somebody, who should go up there, Justin? Who do you think? Come on. Yeah.
All right, come on down. Come on down. All right, so I'm gonna have the muscular system ready for you, set up here. And the headset's super easy. You're just gonna put it on and then put this over back and just tighten it up by twisting it counterclockwise.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there any hope for people to get pukey?
Great question.
He said it doesn't look like that in here, though, right?
Good question.
Yeah. Some of you guys probably have experienced like VR maybe 5-7 years ago. VR has come a long way.
Tighten it up.
Our executive director, Ethan, is probably the most motion sickness like
That way, yep.
person you'll ever meet. And so we just basically test everything on him. It is partially two things. We do everything with the black background to really decrease the motion sickness. And we have lots of people using it now. I will say the only reason why people get VR sickness now in VR is because of the apps they're using. There's a roller coaster game that I play with my daughter. I get sick almost every single time. There's a ninja game where you're like jumping from building to building. It's crazy.
You can.
I get sick on that. But otherwise, it's come a long, long way. So if you've had a problem in the past, I really want you to try again because you shouldn't experience that anymore.
Good question.
And while she's doing this, any other questions that we have? Sure. Absolutely. So, I mean, you guys right now could go to Best Buy, Amazon, Walmart, anywhere, buy a headset, log into Curio. You can download Curio for free, log in as a guest, and you have access to everything. The only thing that we add as part of working directly with SEU is
Turn around and look at
a login, so that way you can track students' performance. So if you wanted to say, hey, I want a student to go in there and watch the airflow video, you could then see if they watch the airflow video or not. But as far as access, we make everything available for everybody. We're open to those discussions. To date, we haven't done it. We give admin access to whoever you want, and they can download the reports for whatever subject they need.
You're gonna click it again.
Yeah. No, you go first. I will just let her know next.
See the little heart tool? And toggle it off and then toggle back on. Because I was just in there. Like off and then one more time.
Absolutely. And what's amazing is nursing globally has been using VR for about 10 years. They've really been the leaders in it. In education, I'm blown away. But the one thing that I think that nursing is missing is the content is very dated. And so I think that as models have changed, they haven't gone back and updated the VR content because it's expensive. On our platform, everything is very, very inexpensive to update. That's why we built it, so people can, as things change, as new ideas come up, we want people to advance it. We don't want this to be a video that's created and never changed for 20 years. We expect people to be updating and asking for changes and everything. Yes, ma'am.
So that, in line with that, is there a warranty on the
Yeah, so our commitment, as long as Meta is keeping in line, we'll keep in line as well. So for example, the Quest 1 is about 7 years old. They stopped supporting it about 4 years ago. Technically, it still works. We don't tell people that it works. So as long as Meta is supporting the hardware, we'll support it as well. Yeah, hardware is expensive, we understand.
I'm not sure if this has just been an educational fad, but for some time there was a lot of excitement about the possibility of virtual synchronous gatherings in a kind of metaverse context, and I think there was a lot of excitement from the educational sector for that. Is that something you facilitate through Curio software as well? We have students in states across the country and now even globally who are at our various network campuses and fully online. And if we wanted to bring them together into a cohort and for some type of synchronous gathering for learning, is that something that can be done through the Curio software?
Yeah, absolutely. Technically, there's no reason why you can't have as many people you want in a Curio room, but you can also have unlimited rooms. So my question I always ask people is, what are they doing in the room? If you have 20 people, are they all working together? Are they doing the same subject? Does the professor want to see those 20 people? If not, break them up into 5, 5, 5, so they can, not be bothered by others. But I would bring it on.
My only other question is, we have, it's an understatement to say, fairly robust ministry theology, biblical studies curriculum at Southeastern by virtue of our mission. Has Curio done any development with other institutions around like archaeological excavations in the Middle East, the sites of biblical events, that sort of thing? And if not, would that be something that we could partner with you to develop as well?
Absolutely. The only thing we have is we do have the ability for 360 videos, and there is a couple of like the City of David and a couple other things, which by the way, if you haven't been, is amazing. But like all that stuff, we need an expert on it. And like for us, it's not just Joe Schmo professor can't come up to us and say, hey, can we develop this? We can get the idea, but it goes through our advisory board so that way it has the right pedagogy, it has the right experts. We're checking it off. And so universally, when we bring it to SEU or any campus, they're like, yep, this is done by research-based professors and not just nerdy builder people like me.
Do you want to chair?
Yep.
What aspect of the content is essentially needed so that we can give it to you and pitch?
Yeah, it's basically the idea. I want students to be able to come in and I need them to understand this topic. And so I always ask, what is difficult about this in the classroom that you think would be better in virtual reality? So where do students get held up? And then how can we make that more unique, make that a better learning, get those like click moments for them?
Yeah.
The only thing that I need to provide, and then you got
So close your, make a
Correct.
or pinch it.
Yep, and the content comes from 3 different places. One, we have universities that have content already. They give us the content, we put it in Curio. We have college student developers, they build the content. Or Curio developers build the content.
So just one hand.
So it all depends on what the project is. And
Where's the edge? Just make like
yes, sir.
So you got to close your full fist. There you go. Yep. So when it's green, see when it turns green, close your fist entirely. Yep, right there.
Oh, yeah, I see.
And just so everyone could hear, he asked, is there like a self-assessment inside the anatomy model where students can kind of quiz themselves maybe? There is not today, but we'd love to build it. That's why we built the human body, is so we could have something and then people build upon it. We just don't know what do we ask? How do we do it?
Alcohol.
We love it.
Good job.
And I know we're running up on time.
That is so cool. I can't even tell you. I definitely want it. That is so cool because you can't really explain how the valves close in the heart. But you can actually see the muscle pulling the valve close and the doors closing and the other set opening. That's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from a professor in the space.
And we have, and actually, I have to be honest, that when I first saw it, I was like, it's great, but we have the anatomy station, and that's great. We have
It's incredible.
That's a
Yeah.
much different experience being inside and seeing.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, and guys, I know we've kind of gone into some questions. We're going to be up here. Aiden's going to be giving some more demos if people want to play in virtual reality. If you guys have questions, if you guys have ideas, please come by and let us know. And then if afterwards, I know some of you guys have to go to other meetings. If you guys just want to write down, my email address is chad@curioxr.org, or you can just go to curioxr.org, and anything and everything is on that website. I really appreciate your time. Thank you guys so much, and hope you have a great day.
Thank you.